Kodak filed for bankruptcy just 3 months ago, and today we learned the company has lost its naming rights to the biggest award ceremony in the film industry. That's right, the Academy Awards. Our editor-at-large, Corey Johnson, back with more. Corey?
Will the indignities never cease for Kodak? Yes, Billy Crystal, I think, referred to it as Chapter 11 theater during the last Oscars broadcast, but no longer. The Kodak name gone. The new price might, in fact, be higher than the old price. Jeff Hayzlett was Chief Marketing Officer at Kodak. You run your own marketing consultancy firm now. Right. And you know this company really well. Now, I didn't look at the results last week, the quarterly results that they were out, because I was on vacation, and
not good. Not good. I mean, they lost about $1/3 billion, $366 million. Sales are down 27%, almost 30% for the year over last year. So pretty tough. And not only that, they've announced that they're getting out of the portable digital cameras and all cameras that, hereafter. So Kodak will no longer be making cameras. So that's a pretty tough thing for the company.
But when I look at a lot of businesses that are struggling, getting rid of revenues is quite often a good thing, because they're not in the businesses where they're losing money. Losing money on every sale and making it up in volume doesn't work, and we've seen that with Kodak. We've seen that with Research in Motion. Well, Research in Motion, free cash flow machine, but different story. Right. But Kodak sold a lot of junk because they used to sell it, not because it made money.
Well, I don't know if I'd say it was junk. Still good quality products, because the people up in Rochester do a good job. But the real key question. You're from the Rochester, so you know that.
More than me.
But with my question is, why wouldn't you ask that question 10 years ago, or 7 years ago, or even 5 years ago? Because they had the same kinds of earnings back then on these products. They haven't made any changes with it. Certainly not when I was there as well. We were seeing some uptake in some of the digital products, but really, bottom line, the thing's been losing money for a long time. And so the time to get out of it was when the brand had some value. I mean, maybe they should have sold off the name a number of years ago.
I asked you. I saw you in L.A. a few months ago, and I asked that in the hallway.
And there were some of us that were actually advocating that in the company. So that would have been the time to do it. I mean, look at what they sold the gallery for here recently, a local property here in the Bay Area. They bought it, I can't remember, a number of years ago, a lot expensive, and they really lost a lot of money on it.
Let's go on the way back machine to 2000, 2001, where there were all these startups in the photo business. There was Shutterfly, which is still a standalone company. There was Snapfish, acquired by Hewlett-Packard, and there was O-Photo, one of the better products there.
Yeah, it was a really good product. In fact, why Kodak ever went and named it the gallery, I mean, that's where things go to die and get dust. I mean, that was the bad thing, and it looks like that's been the case all along. They just could never monetize it, and I don't know if the others have really monetized them either. I mean, the photo category across the board has been a tough thing. Nobody wants to pay for digital storage. No one wants to pay for digital photos, so it's really tough to monetize. The only thing you can monetize are the calendars, the tchotchkes, those kinds of items.
Well, let's go back to the theater thing, because we had planned to talk today before the theater news crossed. But I thought, in your role as a marketing guy and knowing the value of the name there, not just the Academy Awards, the American Idol finals, I think have been there in the past. What does it mean?
It was iconic. I mean, when you think about it, there's only two pictures or two cement castings of people, Edison and George Eastman in front of the theater, right there, the deal with the motion picture industry. So that should tell you those are the non-film people, the non-entertainment people. So it was a really key thing for Kodak to have. It was, coincided with the Academy Awards contract. So it would have been coming up anyway. I can tell you that because they just announced it. So it would have expired beyond the bankruptcy, but a really huge deal for Dolby. I mean, this puts Dolby right in front. You see the Dolby commercials.
What is the value of the Academy Awards? What is the value of all that?
That's where they are. I mean, think about the theaters. When you go in to watch a motion picture theater, you see the Dolby ad come up at the end of all the trailers that shows the Dolby has been used in the
But do they sell more because of that?
I think it's not about selling, though. It's about value. It's about positioning. I mean, you think about the number of times that, when I was the CMO of Kodak, that I loved it. They said Kodak Theater, Kodak Theater, Kodak Theater. In this case, they're going to say Dolby, Dolby, Dolby. And more importantly, it's an iconic brand put together with the Oscars. You can't go wrong. I mean, it's only second to the Super Bowl.
But again,
this is a big thing.
All right, but I mean, I've sit here and I've watched bubbles come and go in this Bay Area where people say, don't worry about making money. It's all about branding. It's all about the name. Why is the name? Eventually, it's got to lead to some revenue.
Well, it's going to help position them to be able to keep those margins that they've got on the product, and then Dolby's going to use it. It really puts them with their audience. It makes a good feel, makes everybody feel good, and it's just good positioning all the way around. I think it's a huge deal for Dolby, a great thing for the Academy, and an even better deal for the guys that own the theater.
All right. Jeff Hayzlett, really glad you could join us, former CMO of Kodak and currently a marketing advisor as well.
And doing as much as I can.
And author. We love it all. All right. Thanks a lot. Emily?